It's really gonna be something, isn't it?
I haven't even shown you the best part.
Ooh, the kitchen?
When you're ready to fly, head over to the bridge.
Oh.
Our pilot should have everything good to go.
I am so hungry right now. I legit was just like, the kitchen though. What it look like, what we got to work with. Hey fam, Franklin here. Welcome to Coco TV. We're playing Andromeda. Mama dead, daddy dead, sister in the coma. We're gonna talk to that sister now. Right? Yeah, we did all the Liara Tassoni excerpts, and now we're gonna go to Cryo Bay. If we're not already in Cryo Bay. Cryo Bay and Docking Bay. Docking Bay is leaving. Cryo Bay is where we need to go, because that's where she is. Basically, the Cryo Bay is the med bay. And I forgot to clip the thing again.
I'll make it right, Dash.
Hey, Hayes is alive. Pink hair girl.
Ryder,
Hayes, how's the wound?
Doc says I'll live. So this goes from a life-threatening
Oh,
gunshot
that's
to a
who was
story
like
I'll tell
about to
my
get
grandkids
struck by
someday.
lightning.
With no need to exaggerate. That was a tough fight on Habitat 7.
Yeah,
Just glad to be on the other side of it.
but Kirkland died. Greer, how you do, boo boo?
Greer, how you feeling?
Grateful. If you and Liam hadn't found me in that cave, God knows what those aliens would have done.
My God,
couldn't leave
I
him
could have
behind.
left him there.
Yeah, your father, and Kirkland.
They'll be missed.
We'll never forget their sacrifice. It's a brave thing,
hug.
risking your life for the greater good.
Yeah, just seems unfair. We barely got here. I'm sorry I'm not out there with you, but Kirkland was a friend, and I'm not cut out for this anymore.
Understood. Habitat 7 was a nasty wake-up call. You take care, Greer.
Are they gonna
Two.
put you back in Cryo Bay?
Thanks again.
Or will they just reassign you? They signed up for exposition. They didn't sign up for war, you know. Who's Nigel McCoy? Fisher!
Fisher, glad to see you're doing better.
Ooh, head wraps.
That was some expedition, hey?
Is that a cast?
Captain said I'm going in the log as the first human to make contact with the kid. And Kirkland's the first casualty. Wish it could have gone differently.
They shot that man in the freaking skull, bro. Like, that's so messed up. The cat are to blame. Things will get better. Let's just hope for the better.
I'm sure there are decent aliens here in Andromeda too.
Right?
We just have to find them.
Right.
Well, I heard you're Pathfinder now.
Mm-hmm.
The sooner you figure out where they're hiding, the better.
Will do. Chin up.
I should have been with the medbay. Who is Nigel McCoy?
Pathfinder, I'm Nigel McCoy. Just got out of cryo.
Welcome to Andromeda, Nigel.
Okay.
Thank you.
Got that bird though.
It's bittersweet, though. My little brother Dash was stationed on the Nexus. I just learned he died on Eos, trying to start a settlement.
God.
That's awful. I'm sorry, Nigel.
Yeah,
Hugs.
we were gonna start families out here together.
Oh.
I have a pendant our father wore. Dash had its match. Will you reunite them?
Of course.
In his digital journal, he mentioned a spot on Eos where he'd go to think. If you could leave the pendant there.
Okay, I got you, fam. I gotta make the planet viable before I do any of that, but yeah. Dr. Carlisle.
Ryder, good to see you. Damn shame about your dad, though. I'm sorry we couldn't save him.
How did he die?
I haven't heard how he died.
Like a hero.
Mm.
That's how. That's the only part that matters. I've met one Pathfinder, well, two with you. But I figure that's the way to go. Taking your last breath on an uncharted world.
Yeah,
No,
sounds
thank
about
you.
right.
Now I just need to make sure your sister here pulls through.
I am kinda tired of hearing people in like media, whatever the platform or art form it is, talk about how like the preferred way to go. Maybe because I fear death or whatever, but I'm just like, How about we just not die? How about that? Like, if he is gonna die, like, at least he's dying on the job. At least he's dying doing his passion. I'm like, no thank you. I think I'll die resting. Not, like, doing something. Like, you know, old, gray, just resting in my bed, and one day I just don't wake up. I'm fine with that. Ish. Staying on Hyperion, how's my sister? Why do you go neighbors? How's my sister? Well, I feel like that's the main question.
Are you staying here on the Hyperion?
You know that moment when you realize you're just getting too old? Ha, right, look who I'm talking to. Trust me, it happens. For me, it was Habitat 7. Watching you guys running around, dodging lightning and the cat, it's a young man's game. Pains me to admit
Dodging
it,
lightning.
but it's passed me by.
Don't get it twisted. We out here dodging lightning, fam. Are you cut out for this though? Hugs.
We'll miss you, Harry.
Just make sure to raise some hell once in a while, will you? I'm living vicariously through you.
Yes.
Deal.
I got you, fam.
How did you end up with the initiative?
Well, you reach a point in life where you wonder, is that all there is? I'd accomplished everything in the Milky Way I could. I was locked into a future of diminishing returns. So coming here was the world's biggest midlife crisis. A chance to wake up in the morning and feel hope instead of arthritis.
Yes.
How's Sarah doing?
Okay,
Her
Carlisle.
condition's stable. I see signs of REM activity in the brain, so she's dreaming. Means all the wiring still works.
How'd this happen?
It was dumb luck, really. We hit the scourge at the worst possible moment, just as the stasis revival was kicking in. It's a vulnerable moment, coming out of a 600-year nap, then wham! Circuits fried and overloaded the neural pathways. Don't worry, I'm on it. We're not losing another writer.
Yes, sir.
That's all, Harry. Thanks.
Don't be a stranger. If anything changes with Sarah,
Are those
I'll
friends
let you
supposed to be doing that? Those friends all jacked up. Am I not allowed? Am I not allowed, game?
Ryder, you have my condolences for your father.
I appreciate it.
I didn't know him very well, although I understand he played a key role in planning the initiative. I'm sure he'd be concerned that we still have several arcs missing.
I'll find out what happened to them.
Any idea where they went?
Nothing certain, but tens of thousands of colonists are unaccounted for. It paints the initiative in an unflattering light. Did you have some other business?
I just asked about the missing arcs, so let's just get it over with.
Any more information you can give me on the missing arcs?
No, and that is the distressing part. The Asari, Turian, and Solarian arcs are completely unaccounted for. If they had the same problems with the Scourge that we did, I fear the worst. Should you
Is
find any
there-
clues, please investigate. Without the other arcs, the promise of the initiative can never be fulfilled.
I guess there are no Krogan or Quarian arcs. Kinda makes sense. Kinda. Dang, they did the Krogans dirty. They didn't even give them an arc. But Quarians, I don't think, especially if they left around Mass Effect 2, I don't think the Quarians and the rest of the species were on speaking terms. I don't think so. Like, they was like, ooh, they messing with robots and artificial intelligences. We don't want to mess with that. Like, additional arcs.
Are there any other arcs we should expect?
We had hoped Quarians would be part of the first wave. But before departure in 2185, we got word they had technical problems with their ship. It seems they're also bringing along Drell, Hanar, and other species as well.
Okay.
Managing all of their biological needs caused complications. We won't see them for some time to come.
Okay. What about Krogan? Still didn't hear
What do I
Krogan.
need to consider in making a planet viable?
Assuming the planet supports life, an outpost is critical. People like a roof over their heads, and you'll want to eliminate any hostile threats. Whether that's the cat or other terrors lurking in Helios, colonists being murdered on sight can be discouraging. Also, scouting and mapping terrain is a priority for any Pathfinder. And don't forget forward stations. You'll want those.
That's confusing. I'm thinking about like the timetable. Like we left 600 years ago, and now we're here 600 years later, and they gonna leave 400 years ago, and they'll be there 600 years later. You know what I mean? So there's a 200-year difference if they left like hundreds of years later. I don't think it's gonna be hundreds of years later. Maybe like a couple years max. You know, like maybe even like a decade. Hopefully we get to see them. Hopefully. But like, hopefully we get to see them after we clean up the stuffs. I feel like that's not gonna happen. That's gonna be very tragic. But they'll at least have a planet to land on, you know. Like the Scourge will be still in space, maybe. Forward stations.
What can you tell me about forward stations?
I was afraid you'd ask. It's mostly what the engineers tell me. A forward station allows mining, equipment repairs, and resupply for field teams. I mean, who wouldn't want that? But seeing as how every colonization effort has failed, it's just theory at the moment. You get to test it out, Ryder.
Yes, I guess. Tan's role.
As director of the initiative, are you in charge around here or what?
If the others would allow me, they don't see me as the rightful successor.
Gridlock?
So how does anything get done?
In theory, Kesh handles the Nexus's physical operations, Kandros runs the militia, and Addison manages colonial affairs. I oversee all of it. In practice, we argue, debate, and yell at each other until a decision is made. If we're lucky. It is maddening.
Give me my way.
What's their problem with you?
I am not Gian Garson. Our founder was charismatic, eccentric, larger than life. Traits I cannot hope to mimic. She and her inner circle perished in the Scourge, some at the hands of the Exiles, some never made it out of stasis. I was deputy assistant for revenue management. Then all 7 leaders above me died. I was next in line for the role.
Okay, 8, I see you. Revenue management? Yes.
So...
Profit?
You're an accountant?
Yes.
Don't let that fool you. We are all capable of more than we know. When I was young, I was fascinated by the idea of exploring space. Life had its detours and I went a different direction. Then I heard about the initiative and saw my chance to try the path not taken. While I may not be setting foot on new worlds, my authority can ensure that you do.
Right.
Yes.
Sorry. It sounds like the Nexus has had a rough time of it.
Publicly, I would say we're more than up for the challenge. Privately, I can tell you, it's been a disaster. The Scourge killed hundreds, many of them our senior leadership.
Not a laughing matter.
Even the founder of the initiative, Gian Garson, is dead.
I feel like I'm like standing for everyone right now. But 2 episodes ago, I was wowed.
How did Jean Garson die?
With the rest of the leadership, when the Nexus hit the Scourge, a large wing of stasis pods was destroyed. They were killed instantly. These people traveled 600 years and died before they even woke up. Jean Garson never glimpsed Helios. She never saw her vision realized.
That's messed up.
We came across alien technology on Habitat 7. It seemed to affect the weather. Your people know anything about that?
There have been reports. Failed scouting missions have mentioned advanced structures of unknown design. Whatever they are, they defy explanation. But with our resources stretched so tight, no one has had a chance to study them. And what if the answer was bad for morale? Suppose these things turn people into food. All we know is the Cat are interested in them. I'd rather not stir things up.
But that's like the very technology that fixes the world. You know what I mean? So it's just like, if they could have, it would have been worth the investigation. But they didn't have Sam, so it's like if there was a long way, they'd be doing the long way to get it done.
What more can you tell me about the initiative?
It represents the greatest migration ever attempted. No one had ventured beyond the Milky Way before. We've all left home in search of freedom, fortune, perhaps a new beginning. We are the bravest souls each species has to offer. I hope the Nexus will serve as the seat of government for us all.
Initiative origins. You got a lot to say,
What do you
Tad.
know about the early days of the initiative?
As most everyone knows, Jean Carson's vision made it happen. She was an entrepreneur on Earth. Wealthy. Young for a human. Carson had the idea for the initiative in the early 2170s, I believe. Many thought leaving the Milky Way was impossible. But she persevered. And as with most great ideas, the doubters were wrong.
Alien species on Nexus.
It looks like a melting pot around here.
The Nexus is home to several initiative species. Many came ahead of the Arks. The hope is that this station will one day serve as the governing body in Andromeda. Though I'm not sure what they were thinking, lumping Krogan into the mix. As a Solarian, my kind tend to have a low opinion of them. Nothing I've seen here has changed that.
Sir. We need to cool it.
Why don't you like the Krogan?
It's common knowledge that they are a violent, ignorant species. Long ago, they waged nuclear war on one another. Their planet was decimated. My people tried to uplift them, but the Krogan could never tame their worst instincts. What if they bring their tempers to Andromeda? We'll all be dead.
But you never gave them a chance. I understand, but that's like past Krogan. And from what I've seen, all the female Krogan seem chill as hell. Like, all of them are aunties, and I'm here for it.
That's all. Thanks for your time.
I'm happy to help. You will find our futures depend
And
on
even
each
like the male
other's
Krogan that we
success.
worked with,
Good
like,
luck.
they were hyper aggressive, but like, I don't know, they respected the protagonist out of the sake of plot. Like, they was never trying to pick a fight with somebody. Now they would try to pick a fight with somebody on the crew. Like, that's something that would probably happen if there was a disagreement. But like, they don't pick fights for no reason. If that makes sense. I see you, baby girl. Let me. Lieutenant, based on what is this? Apex status. Lieutenant, based on the status report 16C. Excuse me. It seems we're no closer to gaining a foothold in any sector. Without decent recon and greater intel on this enemy, I'm starting to think our efforts are futile. The risk involved in continuous loss of resources and lives makes it harder to justify. With morale this low, we need to scale down expectations again. Kandros. Okay, data pad right there. Kandros is right there. It's probably for her. That's not the mission. You're gonna do something, baby girl. It's gonna be okay.
The planet was toxic. What if they store oxygen in
Okay.
porous tissue, like Quiro's rockfish?
Wait, what?
I still reckon they had breather gear stowed in that armor.
Perhaps both. Life is infinitely adaptable, as our expedition proves.
Okay. Okay, scientist. I want to talk to him without like blocking out their audio. So maybe like this. If he'll let me. If he'll let me.
And its gas bladder can expand 300%. Amazing.
Hey, Hirik.
You must be the Pathfinder.
Oh, okay.
Wonderful. You and your Sam are exactly what we need.
Thanks, Mr.
Professor Hirik,
My Sam.
my
Sam is
colleagues
his
and
own
I will work
person.
with your
Their
Sam and
own
the data you
person.
gather to solve Andromeda's scientific mysteries.
Ryder and Sam is what you need. Just saying. Can I join in? What are your specialties?
I'm usually out in the field, but I wouldn't mind talking shop. Lab. You know.
You are always welcome.
Not that we've had much to study, with everyone
clean,
cooped up for
okay.
14 months.
I love
But your
hospitality.
data on the Scourge flows like poetry. Now we can better advise on repairing the damage it caused.
And maybe Addison will give us a real workspace. Who can think with all this racket?
Probably. Speak with the Straturian. I know she's just been sitting there, but I guess I gotta talk to all three of these.
Pathfinder, those bioscans are superb. Could you gather more for our comparative conservation effort?
Sounds interesting.
What conservation effort?
Ah, my thesis is on the console there. Broad strokes, we're comparing and preserving organisms from both galaxies. If you donate more bioscans and samples to the catalog, I can get you a finder's fee. Tempted?
Okay.
Pathfinder, we've had some trouble.
Anything I can help with?
Perhaps. I discharged an away team to get readings from a section of the Scourge that was behaving anomalously. They haven't reported in for some time, and sensors can't locate their shuttle. I sent them out there. Good, dedicated people. I fear what might have happened to them.
You gotta
Don't give up hope. When I'm out there, I'll see if I can find them.
Their friends and family will want to know what's happened, and I need to know.
Okay, missing scientists.
Hi, Pathfinder. Want to hit some rocks for science?
Try and stop me.
Absolutely. What do you need?
Sam and I used your scans and made a VI for geophysics surveys. Beta builds on the console there. Test it out in the field, and I'll wrangle you a consultant's bonus from Director Addison. How's that sound?
Sound be working. Yes, money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Let's talk to this distraught Turian over here.
This is wrong.
Mariette?
It's wrong. It's not right. It's not fair.
What's wrong?
Oh my, you're... So it's true. A Pathfinder has found us. There's hope at last. Maybe you could help. You're impartial. This whole thing has gotten so political. My husband, he's locked up and slated for exile for a crime he didn't commit.
What was the crime?
What exactly was he convicted of?
They don't exile you for petty theft. Well, maybe this bunch would. They say it's murder. They're calling him the first murderer in Andromeda, but the dead man was his friend.
I think
He
the
wouldn't
cat.
There are witnesses and
A murder.
evidence, but it's all circumstantial. At worst, it was an accident. His name is Nilken Rensis. He could give you the details if you were willing to speak with him. Please.
Of course.
I'd be happy to.
Of course, darling.
Oh, thank you. I'm sure the jailer will allow you a visit. Please, tell Nilken I love him.
Okay, I did this mission before, but I always forget what exactly happened and why it happened. So, it's good I'm recording it. Speak with the prison guard. Sergeant Acker? Or Akir? Acker. Has to be Acker.
Help you?
Pathfinder Ryder, here to see Nilken Rensis.
Ah, our murderer. Wife's here all the time. Guess she told you her sob story. Nilken, you're moving up in the world. There's a Pathfinder wanted to chat with you.
The Pathfinder, huh? They called in the big guns to exile Andromeda's first murderer.
Wife says you're innocent. I'm just
Your wife's
saying.
all broken up over this. She says you didn't do it, and that she loves you.
She's a wonderful person. At this point, it's too late. They found me guilty.
Why don't you tell me what happened?
I was part of the futile effort to set up a colony on Eos. We were on our last legs, overrun by hostiles, our leader dead. The security chief, Reynolds, my friend, he refused to call for evacuation. I argued with him. Everyone saw.
And then he ended up dead?
So when he was killed, people assumed you did it?
For good reason. He ordered us to regroup and counterattack. We were moving through a sandstorm. I saw movement, thought it was the Ket, and I guess I panicked and fired. A witness saw the chief's chest explode.
So it was unintentional. The chest exploded from weapon fire? Which you had like the Falcon or some shit? Like the chest?
Sounds like an accident.
That's what I told them. But I was enraged when we argued. There's a recording. It's ugly. Everyone's certain I did it on purpose so we could evacuate. Only my word otherwise.
Don't give up.
Don't throw in the towel yet.
We'll see what happens.
I'll review the evidence. Maybe I can find something that'll help.
That would be great. You're a Pathfinder. I'm sure Kandros would give you access. Maybe
Hey.
there's still hope.
Speak with Candace? Okay. I think he did kill him. Or maybe he shot him or something. I don't know. We'll see.
No news on the Turian Ark yet? Or is this militia business?
Murder case.
I spoke with Nilken Rensis, the man found guilty of the murder on Eos.
Yes, our first murder here in Andromeda. I wish it had been our last. When the colony attempts failed, it didn't help spirits that a high-ranking officer was killed by one of our own. The mutiny here on Nexus was probably inevitable, but this acted as a spark.
And he was found guilty. Isn't that a reach?
It doesn't seem right to put all that on him.
I'm curious.
Of course it isn't, but that's the perception. Despite the lack of physical evidence, everything added up. His only defense was, trust me, I didn't mean to do it.
And you didn't trust him. Curious.
And you assume he's lying.
What's a lie to a murderer? Look, knock yourself out. A key witness, Cassidy Shaw, works in operations. Go ahead and talk to her. And there's a recording of the perpetrator threatening the victim. I'll let you cue it up on the console there. As far as I'm concerned, this case is closed.
Bye, Kandros. Duty calls.
My
You
best
and me
friend.
both, Pathfinder.
Optional playback recording.
The Nexus versus Colonist Nilken, Evidence 7A.
Hiram! Hiram! They've seized the compound! Call for evacuation!
We're not giving up, Nilken. We're taking it back.
No! I'm not letting your ego get us killed! Even if I have to...
No! Get him off me! Get him off me!
Okay. Speak with witness Shaw. I'll be a witness. Cassidy Shaw.
Cassidy Shaw? I'm Ryder.
Okay,
I'm looking into the
Silver hair.
Nilken murder case.
Oh man, I thought that was over with. Have you heard the audio recording of their fight?
Yes.
I helped pull him off Chief Reynolds. You could see it in his eyes. He was gonna kill him. Then in the sandstorm, I had a pretty clear view of the chief. He looked right at Nilken and shouted no. Then his chest burst open. I'll never forget it. The look on his face was pure shock.
I need an autopsy or something. Like, did you agree with the chief? Thank you. Were you there? Were there kept there? Did Nilken regret it? Why was the chief shot? Okay, this one.
If they'd fought and Nilken threatened to kill him, why was Reynolds surprised?
Fronts fight, say things they don't mean, maybe even hurt each other. But you don't expect your best friend to shoot you. To me, that's the saddest part. The chief's heart was broken right before it exploded.
Okay.
Reynolds was leading you back to retake the compound. Did you agree with that?
It wasn't my place to agree or disagree. He was ranking officer. In retrospect, it is ironic. If he hadn't been killed, we all probably would have died.
Did you see any cat in the vicinity?
Nilken said so, but not that I could see. Still, the sandstorm was severe. Visibility wasn't great.
Did Nilken seem remorseful?
I lost sight of Nilken in the turmoil. When we found him, he seemed in shock. He couldn't speak. He looked nauseated. Could have been guilt. The reality of the act sinking in.
I appreciate the information.
Of course. It kills me we had to leave him behind. He deserved a proper funeral.
So the body was never examined? Important
Thank you.
piece of a murder investigation.
Tian wouldn't allow a mission to go back for him. Said it was too dangerous.
Understandable. I speak with Tad. I was like, let's go to Eos. Help this man out.
Something I can help you with?
I'm looking into the Nilken Rensis murder charge.
And?
I want to go to Eos and retrieve Chief Reynolds' body.
That isn't usually Pathfinder business.
First murder in Andromeda, and I'm impartial. Figured you'd want to get it right.
Settling an outpost comes first. But I suppose I have no objections. Physical evidence will only bolster the case.
The body can't reveal much. I'm not sure he did it.
The more certain we can be, the better.
All right, but let's keep it quiet. I don't want people thinking we're reopening the case. I hope anything you find reaffirms what's been done, but if it sheds a different light, we'll deal with it. We'll send the coordinates of the murder scene. Good luck.
That's all.
Tam.
Thanks for your time.
Of course.
I'm just gonna track it. I'm just gonna track it. Did I do everything that I need to do up here? Oh, I should access the terminal. Is there anyone to talk with up here?
Disembarkation procedures for Hyperion are on hold. Please await further instructions.
I guess not. Excuse me. Make sure all of my stuff is in order. Final proposal, Professor N. Herrick et al. Okay. Since we are, by definition, an invasive species in Andromeda, our inevitable footprint must be laid carefully, and we must preserve anything we replace. Okay. The Helios cluster presents an unexpected challenge. We arrived with the seed archives and DNA banks to ensure preservation of the biodiversity of the Milky Way, but this cluster is scarred by the scourge, and its unique flora and fauna are threatened by its turbulence. That too requires conservation. Geophysics VI beta build. Patch notes. Okay, streamlined interface with OmniTool, minimal lag, turn voice recognition to recognize both aluminum and aluminium. No, that's too many M's. Aluminum and aluminium. Aluminium. Okay. Haptic interface no longer defaults to transparent. Also revolves GSV 2027 haptic interface not found. 2135 customized SAM handshake protocols. Hey, handshake. Oh, I have to press X on them.
It's that scourge I'm wondering about. Standard colony radiation
What is
shield should
this?
handle it.
Why is it? I saw it before I touched it. I was like, I'm not trying to blow myself up. Lost brother, hidden rocks for science, missing sciences. Okay. Docking bay. There we go. Hey, Cora. Ooh. Okay.
Pathfinder en route. How's the ship?
In final checks, looking
Where's
great.
Liam?
We won't be long. The way things are going, we'll be on our own out there.
Where's
In other words,
Liam?
we're making this up as we go.
We used to call that tactical improvisation.
Yes.
But at least we'll be doing it in style.
Ooh.
They call her
Is that ours? That's ours. Yes, please. Let them know. We're out here, like, scaling these, I don't know, scaling this galaxy. I see you, Gil. Is that Gil on my left? I don't know.
Let's go take a closer
No,
look.
it's not. It's definitely not. I saw the face. I was like, no.
Let's pick it up a bit, people. We're 14 months late. So you're the one who's making everything happen.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Vetra.
Vetra Nix. Initiative Wrangler, Provisioner, Gunner,
Bruh,
and
I'm gonna tell you
everything
now.
in
I'm gonna play
between.
with all of them.
Are we ready? The sooner we get out of here, the better.
You're coming with us?
Of course.
Yes. Otherwise, there's no way they're letting this ship off the station.
Oh. Let's get out of here then.
Yeah. Let's go see the rest of Helios.
Hold it, hold it. You're not going anywhere.
What you mean?
Damn it.
I didn't do it.
Whatever happened, it wasn't me. I just got here.
Director Addison wants to see a complete report of the Tempest supplies, munitions, and crew.
Director Tan overruled Addison.
The ship's loaded out with equipment for outpost discovery, squarely under Director Addison's purview.
Seen you around. Ben, right? Came here with a family, didn't you?
Boy.
Son still in cryo? I could pull some strings, get him to the front of the line.
Yes, Petra.
Really?
Yeah, really.
They told me he wasn't essential, but I miss him.
Great, you growing up
I know.
without your kids.
I got family too, Ben.
It's done. Addison's gonna kill me.
Smooth.
Nicely done.
Part of the job,
I look
Pathfinder.
so yellow.
All things considered, it was an easy ask. And right now, you need people tearing down obstacles,
I look, he's
not
so
putting up
yellow right
more.
now.
Finally, someone who cares about doing stuff and not just talking about it.
We actually gonna make it to EOS, y'all? Probably. I have to scan all the planets. We'll see. Well, I might just go straight to EOS. We don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Like, literally landing on EOS is probably gonna be, like, the last thing I do for this session.
Everything's state-of-the-art. Labs, sensors, exploration gear. Plus her crew, of course. The best in their field.
Ah, glad to see you
I saw
looking
Gil
well.
up there. Thank you, Doctor.
The engine core is based on the Ark's Odyssey
Look at
drive.
her name.
It runs a hell of a lot quieter.
Hey, Gil.
That's Gil Brody. Engineer, mechanic, all-around wrench jockey.
Tell you, I'm gonna flirt with all of them.
We call this the
It's
research
inevitable.
room. There's space for upgrading equipment, gathering intel.
Router engaged. Securing connection to Tempest.
Welcome aboard, Sam. And Ryder, of course.
All run by Suvi Anwar,
Okay.
our science officer. Your quarters
Suvi.
are below. Plenty of space up here to get everyone together.
I know the
It's
doctor,
all
but I don't
yours.
remember her name.
She's light, stealthy, and the fastest ship in her class.
The mission would be tough. This would be an adventure.
It's really gonna be something, isn't it?
I haven't even shown you the best part.
Ooh, the kitchen?
When you're ready to fly, head over to the bridge.
Oh.
Our pilot should have everything good to go.
I am so hungry right now. I legit was just like, the kitchen though. What it look like, what we got to work with. Go to your ship. Oh my god. Go to my ship.
Better head to the bridge
We
when we're
call
ready to
this
go.
the research room. You can run research projects and coordinate with the Nexus from here.
Oh, okay. Strike team
Pathfinder,
mission.
check this toy.
Hey Liam, what's good?
Seems like we're forever racing, but there's always time to check out new toys. Useful ones.
Always game for new toys.
This makes use of old ones. Like anything you grabbed on Habitat 7. Raw minerals, tech, doesn't matter. The research station will strip that stuff down and give you options.
We don't have time to go to EOS because I want to check out the rest of the ship, and we don't have enough time for even that. So we're gonna finish this thing with Liam. We're gonna check the strike team, and then we're gonna end it there. Okay? Okay. Raw materials, tech doesn't matter. The research station will strip that stuff down, give you options. Good. We rely on ourselves. We'll rely on ourselves. Explorers turn scavengers. Ah.
We're on our own. For everybody else.
Whoa, what is that on my head?
That's what Pathfinder means now.
You see that before?
Yeah, well, everybody should be so lucky.
What is
This
wrong with
tech
my
is
skull?
aces.
What are these
The
lesions?
best we get is what we make. Still the best. Check it out.
Research. Select research to unlock new blueprints and augment by spending research data. Development. Select development to craft equipment and nomad upgrades using blueprints you've researched and materials you've gathered. I like using the sniper rifle on EOS. I feel like when I'm just out on the planets, a sniper rifle is just like good. When I'm like scaling the planet, so I could just like snipe anybody. But usually when I like am in an area, I like using my assault rifle more than anything else. I only got 20 research points. I don't know what they expect me to do. Spend research data earned from scanning to unlock new weapon and armor blueprints or to gain access to powerful augmentations. Also don't think it's worth it till you at least get your stuff onto like level 5 research stuff, because then it's like a lot more. Like it's worth augmenting weapons and creating your own weapons. I think I only got halfway through the game, so we'll see. But it didn't feel worth it early game, especially when some of the augmentations do not work as they explain that they work. You know, I'm just like, that was such a waste. I don't want like an arc reactor gun. Like I don't want like a Warframe arc reactor like flamethrower, but it's electricity coming out of my pistol. I wanted the single shot lasers, you know, but that didn't happen. And I was like, well, I'm not using that pistol. Research. Each research category has different research data: Milky Way, Helios, and remnants. Switch categories with L1 or R1. Okay. Okay, I got some stuff. Okay. They don't exist yet. I think on here it was like weapons, and I was like, give me a blade. There goes the timer. It's fine. We could look back into this later. It's too early game for me to try to pick something out anyway. Element 0. What's all this? Strike team missions.
This console reports on the militia's current strike team missions, Pathfinder. Please speak with Tyrion Candros for authorization to participate.
You know what? Speak to Candros and access via. Okay.
Please speak with Tyrion Candros for authorization to participate.
Okay. I'll talk back to him later. But you get story rewards for doing strike teams and sending your people on strike team missions. Like you either do it online or you just send a team, right? Because your game does not save. Like if you start a new game, you lose your previous character entirely, everything that he or she went through. I don't think you are refunded everything that you earned up to that point. You know? So it's just like, what the hell? Now, I do think, once I get this authorized, I'll still have my strike teams, because I bought all those strike teams through online multiplayer anyway, so they stay there. I never lost any of my progress on there. I just don't have PlayStation Plus to be playing online anymore, so I just send my strike teams all the time. But I have to go back to Candros. Would I stop and just go talk back to Candros right quick? I feel like I should do my own missions in the story, and when I come back to Nexus, that's when I talk to him about it. Then there's the buy sell kiosk. I think we're done for now with this session. You can buy all kinds of things. If we're gonna buy anything, we don't have the credits. Screw that. I mean, we could buy. I mean, we could sell salvage. That's pretty dope. The piranha. I haven't used the piranha before. It looks super heavy. Show details. An assault shotgun. Okay. Capable of automatic fire. The piranha is devastating at short range but loses accuracy with distance. In the Milky Way, the piranha was a proof of concept prototype by the Bradford Engineering Group. Bradford. The Gil? No, his name was Gil Brady, never mind. The initiative procured their piranhas when the company's military clients deferred on a full production run. I would like to try other weapons, but I'm building a similar build, and my Sentinel build I'm creating is more mid-range to long-range. When I get into builds like Vanguards and even Infiltrators, I'll probably do something that's more close range. But for now, I'm all about that assault rifle. So yeah, see you guys in the next video.